this place, one face in the dark, in outer space, in my mind, in the ways you like, all the time, dear to me, and everyone you made. What's so wrong with that? Well, everything. Everything's wrong, like this song, like this little bit of admission. Then I'll go back to my life where everything's right, but I still complain most every night, 'cause everything's wrong, everything's always wrong. If you want just one more song, just one more life, one more light, one more night, one more meal, one more dream, one more thing to believe in, one more lie, one more way we're gonna drain the earth and say we're helping. It's just one more life, one more life, one more I really only meant to call myself a liar, but I suppose you're probably one too. Whatever. I don't mean to be so accusatory, but if you're gonna go in a spot and write a song to convert that spot, you better be ready for the song to be honest. Because otherwise you're just perpetuating the same lies that you believed in before, that got you in the mess that it got you in, that took years to dig out of, despite the fact that time doesn't erase past time. Time can't erase. It's weird I put a D on that. Time doesn't erase past time. Nothing now erases anything then. And anything now won't be erased by anything later. So maybe the reason we don't like to wake up to that is because it's a lot of power and a lot of responsibility. To admit that every moment, every single moment, you have power and responsibility. It's this like arrogant, weird dream thought world to believe that we're here to entertain ourselves and at the expense of others, directly or indirectly. It's so crazy to look around at a beautiful place and feel no sense of responsibility for it and feel only what's in it for me. I'm not saying everyone does that, but I would argue that a lot of people that I know do it. And I know that I do it. We're not living in some culture that teaches us how to be stewards of the earth. It's trying, but it's doing it in this weird false prophet way. Almost everything social media is false. But like this t-shirt I bought at Walmart because I forgot all my clothes at my new home. We are false. We are false prophets. And suicide isn't the solution. I've considered it many times when I was younger. Never would have gone through with it, I don't believe. Maybe once or twice in my deepest pain, the darkest holes I was in. But it wouldn't have solved anything. That's just a way of taking secrets, because pain is like secrets to the grave. It doesn't solve it. So the bravery that's required to stay alive and do the inner work, it doesn't require doing it with anyone else. It can be entirely inner. Even it doesn't require a therapist if that's not right for you. I used hotlines for 2 years when I didn't feel strong enough to listen to a therapist correct me based on past conversations, or listen to a therapist pathologize me in ways that made me feel small and less artistic, like I was just a number and a paycheck to her. That didn't work for me. And they don't all make you feel that way, but multiple ones did create that result in me. And so yeah, hotlines worked in those cases. You can call a hotline every night if you need to. The world would rather see you alive calling a hotline for 2 years straight every night than see you give up. And later I threw a show. I did a 12-hour, 12-album release show at my house many years later. I'm trying to think. Let's see, I called those hotlines almost every night in, I believe, late 2004 and most of 2005. Chicago Rape Crisis Hotline, thank you. And then in 2019 was when I did a 12 album. Feels wrong. I feel like it should have been 2018. No, it really was 2019. 2019 was a year that so many different things happened. I feel like I crammed in multiple years in 1 year. So anyway, yeah, April of 2019 was when I did a show for charity where we raised money, and I sent it all to the Chicago Rape Crisis Hotline, which is part of, I believe it's Resilience or Resiliency. There's 2 different organizations. One's in Holland, Michigan. One is in Chicago, but Resiliency, I think, is what it was, and it was part of, I believe, the YWCA. Anyway, but I wrote that check out to them, and I think it was, for me, it was a lot of money. I think it was $318 raised at that show. You know, we're all musicians, but it was nice. Anyway, I know $318 doesn't pay the paychecks for all the years, well, months, year and a half, 2 years that I called that hotline, but the feeling of paying it back and promoting that organization and promoting hotlines now, yeah, I hope I did enough. I guess we can never do enough. I guess it's more about paying it forward than it is paying it backward anyway. So I try to leave. That's what these are. That's what this show is. That's what this YouTube channel is that I haven't been able to fully end. I keep adding these addendums. I think this song was supposed to be written on a handheld recorder, but I don't have it with me. Or a voice memo. Yeah, probably that. I didn't mean to do another episode of the show right now. Rambling. But here I am. Here it is. These are things worth having said. And that's why this YouTube vlog show, whatever it is, Songwriter Life, goes as dark and as deep as it does, is because this would have helped me. These are, behind the scenes feelings and experience, and, if I could have seen that this was a real path before me in my early 20s, because some of my fans and friends have been younger than me and are just in the midst of some of these healing journeys, and I don't know, I would have been helped by it. So that's why I leave these here. Boop, 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 boop. But I was just feeling self-deprecating for a second because, if I really cared, wouldn't I edit these? But it's well, it's not about whether or not I care. It's about whether or not, I have to make money and be a person and live a life. And I understand that this is not a commercial endeavor. So this exists like a place where I admit things, including that song, because I made some really bad choices in my life. And I've blamed it on other people. I've blamed it on trauma. I've blamed it on childhood trauma. I've blamed it on sexual trauma. I've blamed it on physical abuse, being abused. I've blamed my bad choices on almost everyone but me. And at the end of the day, when you listen to a song like that coming out of your mouth, I was just writing that as I was playing, and when you hear yourself admit that we are vampires, sucking this earth dry, sucking out resources, including time, instead of being stewards, being people who care for things. We are instead just taking what we want from birth to death. So much so that people of my generation were like raised in the 80s and 90s where that was exactly what was taught to us. Like, you've got to try to be the best and you've got to like take your piece of the pie. And it worked for some people. I know people who changed. It's like the opposite of the caste system. I know people who changed. I don't even know what to call it. Yeah. Changed status. Yeah. I know people who went from middle class to upper class. I was going to say upper middle, but I think it's pretty much upper. Through hard work, but also through taking their piece of the pie. Anyway. Seagull experience happening behind me. I doubt you can even see it. Well. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm feeling old and sweaty. And it's the middle of summer and I didn't like shower and I have 3 days left. Heavy cleaning in an old house where we did a ton of house shows and I've been sobbing, and last night I even got sick. I don't know if my sadness made me sick. It's the first time I will have lived in a place for 5 years and then moved and really felt the move. Like, really felt it. Like, felt it in my bones. Like, seeing the walls empty out, the walls that I cherished. The walls that I had young little nieces and nephews come and be in. And seeing the house empty out. I don't know. I feel a lot of weird feelings right now. I think I've only ever moved as much as I've moved by being desensitized to it. Being desensitized to change, being desensitized to fresh starts. This is the first time I'm taking a fresh start, where I'm taking someone with me whom I love, and we're doing it very consciously, and we're doing it to go from renting to buying, and we're doing it to go from being in a town that's right on top of all my trauma to an area where we don't know anyone, and we threw a dart at a map, and it's turning out to have a lot of synchronicity in it, and love, and it's feeling very, very positive, and yet it's still close to Grand Haven and Chicago, the two main places I've lived as an adult, both for 9 years each. Well, anyway, so St. Joseph, here I come. Right on the border of Michigan and Indiana. Michiana area. Southwest vibes. And I still want to travel a lot, and I want. I want all these things with my life, and I'm sure you do too. But I somehow have to learn to flow, learn to care for things, learn to care for people, learn to put the needs of the planet ahead of myself, put the needs of, caring for my own self, paying my way, serving a community. Not just what can I take, but who can I serve? And obviously we don't all serve in the same ways. Like, I'm not as physically strong, but I'm music theory strong, and so we can serve in different ways. And it doesn't mean just giving away all your services, because you need to make money and stuff. So I need to be paid for my time, but I don't know. It's messed up. I used to be so altruistic and like a martyr that then I didn't know how to make money. So you obviously have to make money. Oh my gosh, I can't even stand looking at myself right now. I'm gonna go. There you go. That's an episode I didn't mean to make, but that's a check-in where I'm at. This is Muskegon State Park. This was a spot that I sat in 2012 or 2013. And I don't know. Not a good time in my life. Not times or feelings that I'm proud of. There's the seagulls. Wait, can you see them? Where are they? Huh. It's so weird that you can't see them. Should have tapped that. Oh well. I suppose I could get out and go look at them. There we go. That one was laying eggs or something. Hello. Okay, bye.